18 on the season. The Brooklyn Nets 22-9, the best record in the Eastern Conference. Tough game, incredibly tough game on Christmas night. Exciting game. Getting a chance to, obviously be a part of that environment, fantastic. We know how much fun these Christmas games are. We know how much players talk about how important having an opportunity to play on Christmas night. Everybody watching you. You're the solo show and you're the solo game at that time. And, of course, the Lakers and the Nets, no surprise or shock that they were the 5 p.m. game. Down 23, come all the way back, tied at 115. Not enough there at the end. Couple plays you want to give the Brooklyn Nets credit for. Couple misses by the Lakers. Even before the Lakers tied the game, they had a possession. LeBron got to the basket, and the ball just rolled out. I think it was Russ had another one, similar possession. I can't remember if it was Russ or Malik Monk. Maybe it was THT as I'm thinking about it. I think I'm naming off every Laker player now. Had some opportunities at the end, and, you fall short. And I think one of the things that stands out to me is you dug yourself a really incredibly difficult hole. And anytime you do that, it's obviously going to be tough to come back. You showed a lot of fight and resilience in coming back and making this a game at the end. And then you just got to play perfect basketball. That's the problem with down 15 or down 20 or down 23 is at the end you can't make a mistake. You can't afford a mistake. And even if a shot doesn't go down, even if you have a turnover, that could be the difference of the game. And give Brooklyn credit. No Kevin Durant for them. They had 3 games in a row that were postponed because of health and safety protocols. They've had a number of players out. Lakers have had a number of players out. And both teams kind of fighting a shell of who we thought they were going to be before the season started. The difference is Brooklyn's still winning games in the process. They got the best record in the Eastern Conference. They are the number 1 seed in the East. For the Lakers, they're going the wrong way. Now 8th place in the Western Conference, if you're looking at the standings after this loss tonight, 16-18. Denver jumps them. Dallas is in front of them. I mean, everybody's within a half game and a half, something along those lines, but it does tell part of the story. Okay. I'm going to throw out the phone number here real quick. 122-115, the final score. Nets over the Lakers. So if you're tuning in right now, you're just leaving Staples Center, listening on the app, just driving around Southern California or on all our social platforms, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. And we'll also get a chance to hear from David Fizdale, from the players, and anyone else that talks here. Individual performances. I thought I want to spend a quick second on this because I think this tells part of the story tonight. Stanley Johnson was a player that was highly regarded when he was taken in the draft. Off the top of my head, it's either 2015 or 16 he was taken in the draft. He went number 8. And I have not heard that name in a while. I have not. We know the Lakers did some work these last yesterday. They signed 2 more guys to a 10-day contract. This is all part of the hardship exemption that the NBA has given a lot of these teams. I thought Stanley Johnson tonight, you want to give credit to somebody that is fighting to stay in the league, fighting to, hey, can I make a case that I should still be in the NBA? And I thought tonight was a great example of somebody that showed that, listen, I don't need the ball. I'm not trying to score. Not that he's an offensive powerhouse or anything along those lines. But I so wanted the Lakers to win this game. And part of that reason was to talk about Stanley Johnson in a W. Another reason why I wanted to talk about the Lakers in a W, and they didn't get it, Malik Monk came back tonight. And for those that say, and trust me, I talk a lot of Lakers basketball, whether I'm interacting with people, fans or social or on the radio station or other people I do shows with. They have significant losses. Malik Monk was one of those players because of what he can do off the bench. He had 20 points tonight. But I think what it comes down to for the Lakers is you're either going to play defense or you're not on a consistent basis. And if you don't play defense on a consistent basis, you're going to have a difficult time being in any of these games. They play defense in that fourth quarter, and I understand that, giving up 20 points is not common, and nobody's asking for that. That's not realistic in today's NBA. But the game against the San Antonio Spurs, they gave up 138 points. They didn't have a quarter where the Lakers didn't give up 33 points or less. They gave up 33 points in 3 quarters, and the 1 quarter was 39. Brooklyn tonight started out the game 38 in the first, 28 in the second, 36 in the third, and then the Lakers locked down there in that fourth quarter. I just pay attention to the defense because, Laker fans, we could forget trying to make any noise this season unless the Lakers are able to get stops, get defensive stops. And that's why I point out a couple different times Stanley Johnson, because I felt like that was a player that was there for the defensive side of the ball. That's what he cared about. Hey, how can I help on the defensive side of things? And I thought his defense gave the Lakers somewhat of a shot towards the end to win the game. Now, LeBron, I talked about this in the pregame show. Not the only one to talk about it. Everybody kind of starting to look at, wait, how many minutes is LeBron averaging per game? Coming into this game, it was just under 37 minutes. So now it's going to go back up because he played 40 minutes tonight. I don't know how else to describe Bron. 39, 9 and 7, big time shots, big time defensive stops, 3 steals, a block shot. The double whammy for the Lakers is, as good as LeBron James has been, and he's been just unbelievable over the last 2 weeks, it's not coming off a win. So you're exerting a lot of energy, a lot of fuel from LeBron James right now, and you're only in December. And I was telling Brad Turner from the LA Times, I was telling him at the during the pregame show, I'm like, BT, I don't know why any of this changes. I don't think it changes. Something like this probably doesn't change because in the short term and the long term, they need W's. They're trying to obviously get wins, and he has to do everything. So I don't think anything is going to change here anytime soon. Okay, let me take a couple calls here. We'll get a chance also in a little bit to hear from Lakers assistant coach David Fizdale. Let's go to Corey in Santa Ana. Corey, what's going on, man? Thank you for calling in.
Thanks for taking my call. I just want to say that the Lakers, if it was 2013 and 2012, the team that we have constructed right now would be excellent. They ready for that. But facts are, it's 2022, and we just don't got the defense nor the legs.
Corey, appreciate you calling in. Yeah, listen, the defense is the only thing that I really, really care about and I pay attention. I know what you're saying, Corey. I get it. You see Carmelo on one side. You obviously know his age. There's a lot of other players that are not – let me just use this as an example. Talen Horton-Tucker tonight played 30 minutes tonight. Westbrook played 37. He's 32 years old. Stanley Johnson played 27, and Malik Monk played 35 minutes. So you have a significant amount of players that are also either 32 or younger that are getting a lot of the minutes as well. But you're right, Bron played 40, but look at his numbers. And Carmelo played 39 minutes, 17 points, 11 rebounds, also had 4 assists, 2 steals, and 3 block shots. Can you depend on Carmelo to do that on a night-in, night-out basis? Probably not. I don't think I would depend on it. I'm sure many others wouldn't depend on it. Carmelo's supposed to come here to be a luxury, not a necessity. So far this year, he's been a necessity because Anthony Davis is out, because all these other players have been out as well for health and safety protocols. Mel in Palos Verde. What's going on, Mel? You there?
Game, brother, and I want you to know that people were screaming for Westbrook not to shoot, cursing him out. What I want to know is, it's not about coaching, because Fizdale is doing the best he can, and they're still losing. LeBron's walking around with his head down. Would you accept a trade to get Ben Simmons in for AD and get whatever you can for Westbrook, because this isn't working? And when will we hear from Rob to admit that this is a failure?
Appreciate you calling in. Thank you for calling in. No, I would not trade Anthony Davis. To just make that one simple, I would not trade Anthony Davis. No. I'm still a believer that Anthony Davis is one of the best big men in the NBA, one of the best two-way players in the NBA, and no, I'm not prepared to decide that Anthony Davis has got to go. So no is the answer on that one, and I don't think most teams would trade Anthony Davis for Ben Simmons. I wouldn't, so let me put it that way. As far as Russ goes, just a bad night for Russ. You know when Russell Westbrook was at his best tonight is when he was off ball. He was crashing the glass. He was grabbing offensive rebounds. He was using his energy. When he was at his worst tonight is when he had the ball trying to create, trying to draw fouls, shooting jumpers. So he ended up with 13 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. Doesn't tell the full story because he shot 20 times, was just 4 of 20 from the field. So what hurts Russ sometimes, and I mentioned to John during the broadcast that he's getting key offensive rebounds. He's finding other ways. He had 5 offensive rebounds for the Lakers. The energy is always going to be there from Russ. But he's just not a weapon offensively. He's just not. So I genuinely believe that when I say it. I felt like he was better off the ball. The more he was off the ball and he wasn't really part of the play, he made things happen, if that makes sense. You know, when a play is not called for you, you can still affect the play. And that's when he was at his best. But when he had the ball and there were 13 seconds left on the shot clock, or he's trying to – a lot of times I feel like Russ is driving the ball, trying to draw a foul when he's got to just focus on finishing. Focus on scoring. You're too good of a player to worry about that whistle to be blown, and the way he's been finishing, that to me should be more of the focus. Okay, we'll take more of your phone calls as the post-game show rolls on. 122 to 115, the final score. We'll get a chance to hear from David Fizdale as well when we come back. Thank you for being a part of the show. The phone number is 877-710-ESPN. Not the scenario that we hope for, but nonetheless, a great Christmas game. Lakers lose 122 to 115. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Hey.
Five breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep. 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat. And the pizza plus another pizza. Triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
Hey, it's Mace. Merry Christmas, everybody. You know what would be a great Christmas gift if you voted for me and Mason in Ireland at 710awards.net. You know the right thing to do for the Mandy Awards. Have a great holiday and stay safe from 710 ESPN.
24 seconds with Trevor Ariza. Trevor, tacos or burgers?
I'm going to go with tacos.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Favorite cheat meal?
Ooh, peanut butter and jelly.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon growing up?
Animaniacs. Animaniacs.
Funniest player on the team?
Goofiest would be Dwight.
Favorite superhero?
Batman.
Lakers post-game show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game.
And your reaction on the Lakers line.
Powered by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers post-game with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Tonight's player of the game is presented by your Southern California Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Typically you got to give these out to the team that won. I have a difficult time doing that, even though James Harden, Patty Mills. Let me highlight both of them because they were both great for the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden, not as big of a surprise, 36, 10 and 10, 10 of 25 from the field, got to the free throw line 17 times, hit 13 of them. That's what James Harden does. John mentioned it during the broadcast. It almost reminded him more of when he was with Houston. KD's not there. Obviously, Kyrie hasn't played this year. But he's just a fantastic quarterback that does everything for the Brooklyn Nets. The surprise was not that Patty Mills had a couple of threes. He had 8 threes, 8 of 13 from the three-point line, took 17 shots, only missed 6 of them, 34 points, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. All right, very curious here to hear from Lakers assistant coach David Fizdale. Let's take a quick listen. Lakers lose by 7. Here is Fizdale filling in for Frank Vogel.
from being down 23 to the run you made in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
What did you see that you can take away as a foundation to build upon moving forward?
Oh, some incredible efforts being made. One, defensively to guard James Harden. I mean, good grief. They do so much different stuff to loosen him up. And, credit to Russ Taylor and Stanley Johnson just for fighting them the way they did. Stanley Johnson was fantastic on him. For a guy just getting moved up, that's pretty big time. It was just a tale of quarters. We give up 38, then we come back and score 39. We give up 36, we go back and score 33, and we just, we couldn't put together consecutive quarters for whatever reason. So I got to go back and watch the film and figure it out.
And Malik, from missing 5 games to coming in and scoring 20, what can you say about the energy he provided for you guys tonight?
Fantastic. I mean, these circumstances are not normal. And I think folks at home, it might be easy to say, oh, he's just like sitting out normal, but it's not. These guys are sick. They got COVID. It's a virus, right? And so they're laying around all day. They can't go work on their game or break a sweat or do anything. And then they jump right back into this. And for him to be able to do that, he really gave us a huge, huge boost tonight. And credit to him. Him and I didn't mention him, but I mean, we throw Darren Collison in the mix. This guy comes right from home and competed his tail off and looked like an NBA player out on the basketball court, and that's pretty dang good for a guy that was just at home.
Fizz, we've been talking for a couple of weeks now about these circumstances that you guys are trying to navigate, but the Nets are a team that, have had it pretty bad too when it comes to the protocols.
Yeah.
What do you take away from the fact that, through, again, fourth quarter comeback, kind of, took some of the stink off, but you were down 20 to a team that, had it basically just as bad as you guys had throughout this whole situation?
Yeah. I don't know yet. I really want to get into the film and watch it. Like I said, it's just too many waves in the game and not enough consistent, solid basketball play through 4 quarters. And so, I don't want to speculate right now. I know I've learned from some of my older coaches before I talk, go watch the film on that. Yeah.
Fizz, kind of 2 for you. LeBron plays 40 minutes, scores 39 points. And it's been at this level for a few weeks now, but it hasn't translated to winning.
I'm kicking myself in the head because he's given me incredible effort. I'm trying to figure out ways to get him over the hump with that effort. And I hate that it's wasted on losses. But it's spectacular. And I hate that it's wasted on losses. But to watch it and to be a part of it, even though those games are turning into L's, I've never seen anything like this guy. And we better sure as hell be thanking our lucky stars for this guy. This guy he has given us the most beautiful basketball over the last however many years, and he's still giving it to us on Christmas Day. Did he break the record today scoring?
Yeah. Yes.
That's fantastic. At least I can say I was there for that.
and then a quick follow-up. Russ is a guy who's supposed to help with this and has largely. But the missed dunk, a handful of missed layups today. He's had a handful of missed layups this year. I guess what's the message to a player like that who's accomplished so much? Who's
got to keep attacking. That's who he is, man. He's a rim attacking finisher, and for whatever reason, he just missed him. A big part of it is he just wants it so bad. I mean, you can see it in him. It's like I think everybody feels it. He wants it so bad, and I just know that's hard for him when it doesn't work out. And I know he cares like crazy. This is everything to him. And sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But we had a couple other missed layups in the fourth as well that would have just really been a game changer for us. But, I just want him to take a lot of that pressure off himself and just, keep attacking and keep playing the way we know he can.
Obviously, you guys decided pretty early on to get away from your traditional centers and
dudes are fast, man.
I was wondering if maybe you could describe that and just how much Stanley Johnson contributed to that thinking.
Yeah, that was I don't know if we could have even done that if Stanley wasn't here. But Brooklyn, I mean, the way that they run the floor and the way that they run their routes. I mean, you see Patty Mills, he never stops. He's made his career on that motor. But, we figured it out early on that, our bigs, this isn't a game for our bigs tonight. And I didn't want to put them in that bad spot. And once we made the shift, we made a run to get the game back close by halftime. And I just made the decision that the spacing looked good. Our defensive coverages was giving us a chance. And I thought bringing Melo into the starting lineup to start the half would be good for us.
Fizz, your defense in the fourth quarter, I know you can't do that for 48 minutes, but how can you get that expanded a little bit more than just the fourth quarter?
Well, I know as a staff, we're going to keep hammering at it. And a big part of it, again, is we got to get more reliable to the little things, the fundamentals of our defense. And, we just have too many chunks of the game where that breaks down and we're playing makeup, and we need more consistent focus, more consistent effort for 4 quarters.
Right. Yeah, shit for me too. Dave McManaman on Zoom.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Fizz. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I know this number isn't always representative of what happens in the game, but plus minus tonight when LeBron's on the court for 40 minutes is plus 11, and the 8 minutes he sits, it's minus 18. What can you guys do to either play in 48 minutes or make up?
Clone them. We can clone them. Can we? Any good scientists? We can maybe make a duplicate. I don't know. I don't know how it. We just got to figure that out. Is when we do have those gaps, so he's out of the game. How do we keep that momentum going offensively and defensively? So we'll keep looking at those stretches of the game. Keep looking at ways to help our team. And, a lot of the time, that's also a time where I got probably more guys on the court that don't know each other right now. And offensively, we probably get a little stagnant. Defensively, we're not totally connected. And teams are seasoned on that unfamiliarity, I think. But I'm going to watch those gaps in the game, obviously, and analyze them and really scrutinize them and see what we can do to help those groups out when he is out of the game. Hey, Jordan, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Coach. Just wanted to ask you about Carmelo Anthony. He's been a lot better defensively for you guys. He has 17 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, communicating a lot on defense. Just wanted to get your thoughts.
They said Melo couldn't play in the NBA 2 years ago. So here's a guy that was supposed to be done, buried, out of the league. And here he is still contributing and getting better. Like you said, defensively, he's improving at this age and really committing to the details and the fundamentals of our defense. Really understanding what we need from him on this team, from when it's a post up against a smaller guy to a space in the floor or picking and popping. He's given us all of that stuff. And the thing that I just didn't realize about him was that, he uses his voice as well as anybody. And defensively, I think you see him, he's out there barking at people, man, and really, really getting people in the right places and, executing coverages at a high level. And that's pretty cool to see for a guy that everybody said couldn't play in the NBA anymore.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Merry Christmas.
All right, that's Lakers assistant coach David Fizdale right there. So giving some of his reasoning to what happened in this game, giving credit to certain players, obviously complimenting what LeBron accomplished. A couple things I want to do here. First, let me take a quick call here. Xander out in Manhattan Beach. Xander, thank you for calling in, bud. What's going on? What'd you think tonight?
Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, man, dude, I don't even know what I can't even describe what I was looking at tonight, man. You know what I had to do, brother? I had to turn the TV for a minute. I said, you know what? Like they just fell asleep behind the wheel, man. Somebody better call Grandma, because I said you're going to need a little nursing after that little beating they took just the beating tonight. But one thing I wanted to say, man, was the crypto thing. I think it's pretty cool, And I was going to try to get this. I think what the Lakers need to do is they need to get some more pieces. I think they need to, change their game a little bit next year, and get better defense, and try to cover the ball more and get back to the game with trying to depend on everybody all the time and try to, listen to the coach more often.
Xander, I appreciate you calling in. I want to cut you off real quick. You talked about the Lakers from a defensive standpoint, got to get better. That fourth quarter, I thought they did a great job on James Harden. Problem is, it took 3 quarters for them to dig themselves a 23-point deficit before they obviously did come up and make that run. Let's do this when we come back. LeBron James, we'll get a chance to hear from him. I talked about his individual stats and what he was able to provide for the Lakers, but obviously that wasn't good enough tonight. 122-115 the final score. Nets over the Lakers. LeBron James coming up next. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Five breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep, 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat, and a pizza plus another pizza. The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
Hey, it's Mace. Merry Christmas, everybody. You know what would be a great Christmas gift if you voted for me and Mason in Ireland at 710awards.net. You know the right thing to do for the Mandy Awards. Have a great holiday and stay safe from 710 ESPN.
24 seconds with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, tacos or burger?
Burgers.
Pineapple on pizza?
Sometimes.
Favorite cheat meal?
Pizza.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Kung Fu Flicks.
Funniest player on the team?
Dwight.
Teammate who thinks he's the funniest player on the team?
Nobody really thinks they funny.
Your favorite superhero?
I'm a Captain America guy.
I mean, you got to match the initials too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Captain America guy.
Box. 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, so they can choose what they want, and you get the taste you enjoy. Only at PizzaHut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Points in the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956. Vista Paint. Lakers unfortunately lose the game. 122-115 the final score against the Brooklyn Nets. And points in the Paint, they lose that battle 56-54. So both teams actually pretty productive from inside the paint. Lakers 3-point shooting 10 of 35. Brooklyn 14 of 32. Rebounding give the edge to the Lakers. Turnovers, which has really hurt the Lakers over the last couple of games. Coming into the fourth quarter, it was lopsided. By the time the game was over, 14-12. So Lakers had a fantastic fourth quarter, outscoring Brooklyn 33-20. But ultimately, it was not enough for the Lakers. It was not enough for the Lakers. All right, we are going to get a chance to hear from LeBron James. So LBJ ends up on the game tonight, 39 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. Here's LBJ on the Lakers' 7-point loss to Brooklyn.
5-game losing streak now. Guys in and out of the lineup. No coach, different voice. How is this something for you to deal with at this stage?
You just take every day.
Recording in progress.
Find ways that you get better every single day. If it's a game, if it's a practice, if it's a film session, if it's an off day, I don't take my mind too much away from the game. Obviously, even this morning, Merry Christmas to all y'all families and things of that nature. And it was phenomenal to, be with my kids and seeing them opening their gifts and having a great time. And at the same time, I had the game on the TV. So my mind is always in tune with what's going on. My mind was thinking about, the Nets and prepping for the Nets. So, I'm just a guy that just lives in the moment and, don't care too much about the past because that's history and just, living today. Tomorrow's a mystery. So you just got to live in the present.
LeBron, obviously Russ is bringing energy and wants to win, but when he kind of has a shooting night like he has tonight, what do you kind of see in that? What is sort of between him and the kind of performances that he wants to have for this team?
What are you asking? I don't quite understand your question.
I guess, okay, Coach Fizz was just saying, he's feeling a lot of pressure with guys out. Maybe my question is, do you see that as well, and do you see that affecting how he plays?
I think he had an off-shooting night. He missed so many shots around the rim that he's been accustomed to making throughout his career, throughout the season. Not worried about too much of that. I think his decision-making was spectacular tonight. He had 11 assists. He had 12 rebounds, 5 of them offensive. And we know we're not one of the better offensive rebounding teams in this league. So he gave us extra possessions. He just missed a lot of looks around the basket, which I know that he can't stand as well. But, as far as the effort piece, if a guy plays hard and the guy leaves it on the floor, I got no problem with that. Just make him miss league.
LeBron, and similar to what Dan was asking you, but Fizz said, he hates that these performances that you're putting out on a nightly basis are being wasted on losses. Malik just said, that the rest of the team hates it as much as anyone else. Is there any frustration on your part that you're doing all this, right? Like you've been able to do so much on a nightly basis throughout this stretch, and that it's not enough for the group?
It is what it is. I go back and watch the film and see if there's ways and opportunities I could have been, a step sooner or a step, faster to a loose ball or to a rebound or, had a couple of turnovers tonight. If it was an opportunity, if I didn't have 3 turnovers, it maybe 1, because could we've been a lot better offensively. Like I said, I try to do my part while I'm on the floor. Carry the load. Do a little bit of both sides. And just try to lead by example and also lead with my voice. And it's been obviously been difficult throughout the stretch, but that won't stop me. I'm gonna continue to do what I've been doing.
LeBron, now that we're sort of a week into you playing center on a much more extended basis, just curious physically how that's gone. Guys sometimes talk about the extra sort of like leaning and banging and stuff like that. Have you felt any of that? And I guess, what have you liked about those lineups?
No, I don't feel anything. I've come out of over the last couple of weeks, feeling pretty good besides stepping on Jay Crowder's foot the other day. But as far as me playing the 5 defensively or playing the 1 offensively, I feel great. I really do.
David, countdown 2.
Brian, Merry Christmas. To go philosophical on you, the fact that you guys were down 23 and made a game of it in the 4th, is there any lesson there in terms of where you are at this stage of the season that you can still make a season out of it?
Well, I think I'm looking forward to watching the film tomorrow when we come in as a group, see why it went to 23 and see why we were able to get into it and get back into the game and tie the game up with like 40-some seconds to go. So, if there's reasons or ways that we can not dig ourselves such a bad hole, and we don't have to come back from those moments. But it was good to just see the character. Melo brought us all together and said, listen, man, we need to go out and show some character. In the fourth quarter, I think when they went up 23, and we all responded. And we responded with a flurry. We just weren't able to get over the hump.
Last question, Claudia on Zoom.
LeBron, we obviously know that you love to win, and you hustled tonight. We saw a lot of the new guys actually trying to, help out too. With everything that is going on through with the short staff, and how important is to have patience? How do you describe that word, patient?
Well, I'm not a very patient person, obviously, but under the circumstances, obviously, without our head coach, without our head coach, and tonight we finally got a couple of our key guys back, but we're still missing a few. You just try to stay, even keel, and obviously this losing streak is not something that none of us want, but nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for our record, or nobody's gonna feel sorry for guys out, because everybody, besides I think like Golden State and Phoenix, everybody has guys out, so, you just got to, when you get your opportunity, you get your number called, just make the most of it, and go out and play our system. And it's even challenging for some of the new guys because, they haven't been in the system long enough to know exactly what we want to execute. But, tonight they just played hard. DC came in, played extremely hard. Obviously, Stanley came in, and then also Malik, even though he's been a part of our system, been out for, 2 weeks. So it was just good to have that energy. That we was able to give our fans, and our fans just give it back to us. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yep. Merry Christmas.
All right, that is LeBron James right there. Getting a chance to address the media. Lakers lose 122-115, the final score. Let me squeeze in a quick call here. Michael in Buena Park. Michael, what's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to know, do you think LeBron is, A, going for the record of the captain, and B, do you think he's going to attain it? Thank you.
Appreciate you calling in. I don't know if he wakes up every morning and says that's where he wants to be. I think at this stage of his career and the roster that the Lakers put together and the expectations coming into the season, could I get another championship or two before my career's all said and done? Now, I know that's tough to swallow right now. That's tough to think about right now. I think that's higher on his priority list. And he's such a good player that naturally it might just come. That's not the kind of the predicament for LeBron James. I was doing this in the pregame show. I want to read this off because I think this tells somewhat of a story. Here's LeBron in his last 4 games for the Lakers. And this, again, it's not like LeBron James is going out there and saying, I want to go get 30 tonight. He had 31 against the Wolves, 34 against the Suns, 36 against the Spurs, and then tonight 39. Do you know what all those games have in common? They're 4 losses. And I think LeBron James will take 15 points a game if they're 4-0 and it equals a win. So to answer your question, I don't know if he's going for it, but I think he could just naturally, just by being around, get that mark and become the league's greatest scorer in the history of the NBA. But again, I think the priority is still going to always be winning first. 122-115, the final score. When we come back, I got a couple options here, but I want to hear from Stanley Johnson. I think it's a cool story, a unique story, and he played 27 minutes tonight for the Lakers. So we'll get a chance here from Stanley Johnson, who's on a 10-day contract for the Lakers. Stay right here. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame.
Five breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep, 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat, and the pizza plus another pizza. The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
Hey, it's Mace. Merry Christmas, everybody. You know what would be a great Christmas gift if you voted for me and Mason in Ireland at 710awards.net. You know the right thing to do for the Mandy Awards. Have a great holiday and stay safe from 710 ESPN.
24 seconds with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, tacos or burger?
Burgers.
Pineapple on pizza?
Sometimes.
Favorite cheat meal?
Pizza.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Kung Fu flicks.
Funniest player on the team?
Dwight.
Teammate who thinks he's the funniest player on the team.
Nobody really thinks they funny.
Your favorite superhero.
I'm a Captain America guy.
I mean, you got to match the initials too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Captain America guy.
Five breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep, 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat. And the pizza plus another pizza. Triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
Hey, it's Mace. Merry Christmas, everybody. You know what would be a great Christmas gift if you voted for me and Mason in Ireland at 710awards.net. You know the right thing to do for the Mandy Awards. Have a great holiday and stay safe from 710 ESPN.
24 seconds with Trevor Ariza. Trevor, tacos or burgers?
I'm going to go with tacos.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Favorite cheat meal?
Ooh, peanut butter and jelly.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon growing up?
Animaniacs. Animaniacs.
Funniest player on the team?
Goofiest would be Dwight.
Favorite superhero?
Batman.
Bucks beat the Celtics 117-113. Knicks over the Hawks 101-87. And one other game going on right now, it's the Jazz taking on the Dallas Mavericks. No Luka in this one. It's 65-58 right before halftime there. Stanley Johnson signed a 10-day contract with the Lakers. Who would have thought he'd play 27 minutes tonight for the Lakers, be a key piece in trying to slow down James Harden as the game progressed. Let's take a quick listen to Stanley Johnson on the Lakers' loss.
Hi, Stanley. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
First of all, LeBron and Coach just raved about the energy and performance you had tonight on defense especially. Can you just talk about what it's like coming into a new team on this 10-day contract, picking up the principles on defense and giving it your all out there tonight?
I mean, I think it's pretty easy. I kind of asked some questions and knew what was expected of me. I like to say that I can play defense at a high level. I got to be smarter with the fouls. I'm very confident in that part of my game. I've been doing that for a while, pretty strong. So it's just doing my job like another day in the office. Like I've been coming to Staples Center my whole life, and it's kind of a little easier to play at home. I'm very comfortable. So I kind of just let it happen. Like I was in quarantine a day ago, like 36 hours ago, and I take a 5-hour flight and get here, and I have barely time to do anything, and they throw me in the game, and I play a lot of minutes. I'm not sure. So I'm just blessed and grateful to even be here right now, and just trying to learn as much as I can to be as useful as I can to the team.
And now having one game in, what do you feel it is you can bring to this team?
I think tomorrow will be great for me to find out what I can bring. I just haven't had a lot of time to talk to anybody. Like I have relationships with a lot of people here, a lot of great people here. So I obviously was on the phone a lot, but I think tomorrow having a game to look at, and then having just information to really talk over that I can feel and be a part of, I think that'll go a long way.
Stanley, Merry Christmas. Welcome back.
Merry Christmas.
You went to the G League this year to kind of work your way back into this league. And obviously the opportunities come for you, first of all, in Chicago.
Yeah.
What was it like to get that first call, okay, I'm going back? What do you feel it changed kind of in your game? And then secondly, then to sort of have the rug pulled out from you to get that 10-day deal and then instantly go directly into protocol.
Yeah, right. Where's Sam? I literally was just telling the story why, my pastor, he's been talking about crazy faith for this seminar all year, all bottom of the year. So this Christmas is the last day. You get to a point where you're for me, I love basketball. This is what I do. This is my passion. And they get that type of opportunity and kind of goes away. You're kind of stuck in the middle. You control anything, but you really control anything anyway. So I just stopped worrying about it. I just did my time in quarantine, focus on anything to focus on while I was there, try to keep my mind right and stay happy. And I live here. I went home and they called me when I got home. So that's a testament to God's work.
Yeah,
really.
I was saying to interrupt you, not to you mentioned faith, but then what does it mean to you to have this opportunity here in this city, in this building, obviously?
Yeah, I think coming from where I come from, I mean, this is something that when you think about basketball, for me, this is one of the things that helped me fall in love with basketball is watching the Lakers play. So I think being able to play for the Lakers and on this day, it's a special day for the NBA. It's something that I'll remember for a long time.
Just to follow up on that, how did the modern day crowd react when they heard the news, not just you?
I feel like they're always supportive. I don't in my circle of people, I don't have many people that don't have positive energy. So even in my down times and stuff like that, they always have positive energy and kind of looking forward.
As a follow-up, what does it mean to you? I know it's sort of ancillary, but to have looking back at Russ, Darren, Trevor's not here, but a bunch of guys who have roots in LA basketball from the time they grew up.
Yeah, I mean, when I tell you I've watched all these dudes play, James, Russ, Darren, like growing up from our SEA, like all these teams. So I know it means a lot to them. They're an example to me. They're the older group from California. So I think, as we go along kind of with the camaraderie and fraternity that the NBA is, especially California basketball, it's always a respect level that's there and an admiration that's there, I think, through everybody.
All right, that is Stanley Johnson right there. Signs a 10-day contract with the Lakers, ends up logging in 27 minutes for the Lakers, and was in during critical times. Had a chance. Lake Show had an opportunity to win the game. They tied the game after down 23, 115 apiece, and I wanted to hear from Stanley Johnson because I thought his effort was key. Malik Monk dropped 20 points for the Lakers as well, but it wasn't enough. THT, 14 points. LeBron, I mentioned the 39. Russ with a triple-double, struggled from the field. Not enough. By the time that defense woke up, it was just a little too late. Could have get a couple stops there at the end. Appreciate everybody that has been a part of the show tonight. I know these are always special games on Christmas night. Quick shout-out here. Michael Funches, Carlos Saisu, Taylor Smith, Will Orms, Josh Martinez, everybody internally here at the station that certainly helped make this broadcast happen. Lakers lose 122-115. Our next broadcast is going to be on Tuesday. So Lakers will be in Houston. Tip-off will be at 5 o'clock, so we'll start the pregame show at 3:30. And very, very happy to have Michael Thompson back in the pregame show. He'll be in his regular seat with John Ireland. So that's the plan. Again, Lakers taking on the Rockets coming up on Tuesday. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I'm Alan Sliwa, and this has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Thank you for listening to Lakers basketball tonight. Game 34 of the season is in the books.
Lakers basketball on ESPN LA is sponsored by Subaru of Glendale, the #1 Subaru dealer in America. Lakers basketball.
Delivered by the one and only stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza, and we'll stuff the crust with the gooey, melty, delicious cheese. Order now at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizza